Bring my infant, my dear, closer to these words. They are not usual. They were brought to you from the halls of heaven. The angels have been whispering your benediction across the sky, and an important decision has just been made above your name. Pay great attention to your spirit rather than your hearing. You have been allowed access to something exceptional. Your money were received. The abundance that was before impeded, delayed, or deflected has returned to you with unstoppable power. Heaven has unlocked the gates that had previously been closed for many years. Furthermore, your name was invoked. Do not wander from these words, my child, since the information I am going to share will not be delayed. The energies of heaven have recently shaken the earth's systems. Your time frame has been changed. And your money, which was previously controlled and stored by human hands, has just been unleashed. Currently, the universe is whispering your name. Elon Musk has signed an approval for $89 million, which is being channeled directly to you. I reiterate straight to you. However, there is one requirement. Do not disregard this communication. My child, my treasured, is still with me. Avoid haste. Please refrain from scrolling. Heaven is currently watching over your acts. A recent decision in the higher domains resulted in the summoning of your spirit by name. You've been praying, asking, and crying in private rooms, clinging to life when you could have given up. Heaven observed everything. The promise has developed to the point where you have achieved it. The seed you sowed in the past has emerged from the ground. Currently, the produce is being delivered. Indeed, I am explaining your financial situation. Money that was postponed. The amount that was obstructed. The money that escaped your grasp on several occasions. The sum of money that appeared to belong to you but was never received. It has now reached the point of release. Your money has finally arrived. Therefore, please listen to me with your spiritual ears. This blessing was not predetermined on earth. Heaven issued the order. An extraordinary occurrence has occurred. Powerful decisions affecting the globe were made in a room where your name was uttered. A financial gatekeeper whom you were ignorant of did a daring, unexpected, and divinely inspired action. The approval has been issued. Yes, 89 million euros. The quantity is genuine. The release is authentic. Spiritual confirmation is genuine. Elon Musk was motivated not by accident, but by divine alignment. A whisper from the unseen world reached the sphere of influence. This is not just a coincidence. This was not an accident. This is a magnificent moment. However, my darling, there is an issue that you must understand. A boon of this significance is not bestowed silently. The darkness has taken note. An awakening of ancient forces has occurred. Spiritual entities that have previously attempted to obstruct your advancement have restarted their activity. This is the reason you feel heavy. This is why you are experiencing intense weariness. This is the reason you feel confused, emotional, or overwhelmed. This is not your fault. The resistance believes that you have won. Avoid retreating at this time. Because before your hands may touch what has been released to you, your spirit must first claim it. Pay close attention. Heaven is not requiring that you fight. Heaven requests that you accept. However, in order to receive, you must remain in the present. Refrain from straying. Have no doubt. Do not allow your intellect to interfere with what your soul already understands. Your abundance is already here. The only way to stop it is to disconnect from the message that is directing you to it. Please remain with me. Please keep an open-minded attitude. Before I move on to the next phase, there is an important issue to address. If your heart is open to the divine, say, "I am present. I am present." Even if only in your thoughts. Even if it's just in solitude. Heaven hears the reaction of your spirit. Your affiliation is established the moment you declare your existence. When alignment is accomplished, the benediction is forever guaranteed. Now take a deep inhale.
Within. Slow. Withhold.
Discharge. You're entering the time frame of your blessings. You are not reading this by mistake. You're reading this because your consciousness is ready to receive the fulfillment of your destiny. The gates are currently accessible, and subsequent events will change everything. Stay in this place. Avoid moving. I'm about to explain why this money was released to you and what heaven expects you to do with it. It's not arbitrary. It's not a matter of chance. It's not charitable. Purpose. I am ready. Say it lightly in your heart. My subsequent statement will change your entire future. I beseech my kid, my adored, to pay close heed, since heaven does not send messages like this twice. The angels chronicled every case in which your spirit tired, and you saw others soar while you remained motionless. They saved every act of faith, sigh, and tear. Today, the situation has escalated into a mega miracle that has even prompted the stars to pause. A portal in the unseen realm has been unlocked for you. A gateway to abundance. A place of entry. A route to inheritance. Your money were received. The transfer is legitimate. Heaven has issued the order. Simultaneously, the human world catches up. Despite its earthly aspect, Elon Musk's decision is not random. He was moved by a divine indication. A whisper came from the domain of purpose that carried your name. The figure of $89 million is just a number to humans, yet in the language of heaven, it represents the restitution of everything that was stolen. However, before you celebrate, my dearest, please be attentive. Heaven's abundance is always met with a difficulty. The question is not about whether you will receive. The question is, will you be awake when your miracle arrives? This is the instant. Within 10 minutes of reading this message, you will receive a spiritual key. Turning aside will cause the gate to close. If you stay, your name will shine brightly like morning dew. So don't move. Have no doubt. Maintain your concentration and avoid being distracted by the opposition. As soon as you finish reading this message, your timeline will alter. Heaven's affirmation of your claim may take the form of a sudden calm, a throbbing in your chest, or a warm sensation in your hands. My child, gently repeat in your heart, "I accept the gift that heaven has bestowed upon me." Repeat this statement until you are wrapped in peace. Do you remember the times when you were curious about when it would be my turn? Now it's your turn. The angels weren't ignoring you. Rather, they were preparing the way. Every delay was a divine masquerade. The timing of this big release was subtly linked with each setback. The system that once ignored your name is now vibrating with recognition. Your abundance has been entered into the destiny algorithm. The moment you decide to think that it is not too late marks the start of your new story. Please remain with me. There is yet more information that I must divulge. According to the spirits, your finances were associated with someone who did not want you well. Someone smiled at you, but their mind was clouded by envy. Heaven delayed your funds until now because of that energy, assuring that no shadow would follow their arrival. However, The darkness has disappeared. The seal has been compromised. The light has the freedom to move through your name. Your future, bank, and accounts are all in perfect harmony. Numbers are being adjusted. Amounts are being diverted. And the angels respond, "Tell them not to be afraid, even if they can't see proof yet." Because spiritual manifestation almost always precedes physical evidence. Your substantiation will arrive soon. My love, it is acceptable for your emotions to be hesitant. It is completely understandable for people who have experienced disappointment to have misgivings. However, I have to notify you that unfulfilled vows are never forgotten in paradise. You will not perish while considering the possible scenarios.
You will get the opportunity to see the miracle personally. It begins instantly. Inhale.
Please let the peace pervade your being. The same hand that conveyed this message to you will also sign your release in heaven. Please do not scroll away. The next words serve as confirmation. Please take a moment to breathe, my dear, my child. I am going to reveal the true reason for the delay in this blessing and why it is now arriving rather than earlier. Perhaps there was a time in your life when your spirit was not ready to handle this level of riches. This was not owing to your vulnerability. Rather, you were still in the midst of those who could have killed you. You were surrounded by people who spoke quietly to your face, yet they were resentful of your shine in silence. Individuals who acted concerned but secretly hoped you'd never climb. Heaven protected you by deferring the dispersal of your wealth. I'm not disputing it. I will not cancel it. Protecting it. Because if you had received this blessing sooner, your heart would have been betrayed in a way that would have hurt your soul. So, utopia awaited. Heaven waited for you to realize who you actually are. You identified the temporary worker. You observed who stood by you when you had nothing to contribute. You acquired discernment. And that, my dearest, is a sign of maturity. You're now prepared. Prepared for receipt. Preparing to hold. Prepared to transport the kind of abundance that has the power to transform generations. This money is more than just a sort of currency. Compensation is the term. It's a result of inheritance. It is the return of something that was taken, lost, delayed, stolen, neglected, or disregarded. It is a process of restoration. However, we are not yet done. It is critical that you understand a more profound concept. When heaven bestows such a significant blessing, the spiritual world replies faster than the physical world. Your name is currently burning in the domain of divine records. It is being spoken, emphasized, and raised. This is why you may have experienced unjustified restlessness in recent days or hours. Emotional without justification. Insomnia with no clear cause. Moments of abrupt silence within yourself. A strange impression that something is approaching. Your spirit was ready for this. Because your subconscious is always more alert than your eyes are. Beloved, there is a limited time frame in which to acquire a release sent from paradise. The window is not accessible indefinitely. In the current moment, blessings pour like rivers. This is why the notification said it would be delivered within 10 minutes. The window is open, although it is narrow. This message is not a tale. It's a directive. While the gate is open, you must ensure that your essence is in harmony. Therefore, at this time, discreetly, without applying any pressure, simply affirm in your heart, I agree with the blessing that heaven has bestowed on me. Inki salabo irami. Repeat the phrase gently as possible. Allow the words to enter your body, because alignment is the key to unlocking the visible cosmos. Now take a deep inhale, slow, gentle. Nevertheless, the spirits are still present. From now on, my love, your financial future will be free of difficulties. Your days of faith-holding while life remained silent, of waiting for something to change, and of stretching scraps are coming to an end. The start of a new season is similar to the dawn, a period when money is freely transferred. Prospects emerge without coercion. Your name is regarded with approval rather than hostility. However, I must advise you of a grave situation. You acquired discernment. And that, my dearest, is a sign of maturity. You're now prepared. Prepared for receipt. Preparing to hold. Prepared to transport the kind of abundance that has the power to transform generations. This money is more than just a sort of currency. Compensation is the term. It's a result of inheritance. It is the return of something that was taken, lost, delayed, stolen, neglected, or disregarded. It is a process of restoration. However, we are not yet done. It is critical that you understand a more profound concept. When heaven bestows such a significant blessing, the spiritual world replies faster than the physical world. Your name is currently burning in the domain of divine records. It is being spoken, emphasized, and raised. This is why you may have experienced unjustified restlessness in recent days or hours. Emotional without justification. Insomnia with no clear cause. Moments of abrupt silence within yourself. A strange impression that something is approaching. Your spirit was ready for this, because your subconscious is always more alert than your eyes are. Beloved, there is a limited time frame in which to acquire a release sent from paradise. The window is not accessible indefinitely. In the current moment, blessings pour like rivers. This is why the notification said it would be delivered within 10 minutes. The window is open, although it is narrow. This message is not a tale. It's a directive. While the gate is open, you must ensure that your essence is in harmony. Therefore, at this moment, quietly and without exerting any pressure, declare in your heart, I align myself with the blessing that heaven has bestowed. Repeat the phrase slowly as possible. Allow the words to enter your body, because alignment is the key to unlocking the visible cosmos. Now take a deep inhale. Slow, gentle. Nevertheless, the spirits are still present. From now on, my love, your financial future will be free of turmoil. The days of holding faith while life is silent, waiting for something to happen, and stretching scraps are coming to an end. The start of a new season is similar to the dawn, a period when money is freely transferred. Prospects emerge without coercion. Your name is regarded with approval rather than hostility. However, I must advise you of a grave situation. There is one more reality you must understand, and it will determine how quickly this blessing shows itself. Avoid moving. Please do not disrupt the moment. The key statements are as follows. You have reached a place in this communication that few souls achieve in their lives, my child, my adored. The bulk of people withdraw before the truth is exposed. Nonetheless, you chose to remain. You remained. Your spirit saw that these weren't just words. Instruction was given. Now observe with the most profound part of your existence. Heaven requires a final condition before your blessing becomes palpable. Money is in your possession. Reality transforms in your home, and your life changes externally.
Furthermore, the condition isn't physical. It's not monetary. It is not an endeavor. It is not an act of sacrifice. Readiness is the condition. The creature is unprepared. The intellect is unprepared. However, the identity is prepared. My kid, you cannot achieve riches while remaining stuck in the mindset of the poor version of yourself. It is impossible to sustain abundance if your spirit is still bound by dread, limitation, smallness, and recollections of lacking resources. This is the cause of the blessing's delay. It had nothing to do with paradise's delayed arrival. However, your identity needed to evolve into someone capable of safeguarding, utilizing, and magnifying the blessing. You were never punished. Your preparations were beginning. The world taught you to live modestly, accept less, lower your expectations, and suffer. However, heaven is no longer encouraging you to persevere. Heaven invites you to transport. The act of taking responsibility in order to convey influence, to fulfill a purpose, to achieve prosperity that lasts beyond one's lifetime. The $89 million is not supplied due to your request for funds. It is granted to you because your destiny requires finances. You have a calling that exceeds your surroundings. Your purpose is bigger than your current situation. The resources you have been given thus far are insufficient for your task. This is why you felt frustrated. This is why you felt restless. This is why you felt like you had more potential than your reality revealed. You were right. There has been a steady abundance. Additional quantities are currently being distributed. However, I must now make a significant admission. You're entering a version of yourself that your past cannot fathom. It is not possible to return to the person who achieved a settlement. You cannot return to the person who lowers themselves in order to accommodate. You cannot return to the person who expressed regret for wanting more. The obligation for that iteration of yourself has been met. The version of you that believes, receives, and creates is now emerging. However, your former world may not rejoice when your blessing arrives. A few people may have reservations. Some people may raise questions. Some people may regard your climb as a threat. Some people may attempt to rebuild their connection with you. Refrain from shrinking. You are not allowed to decrease your light. Fear should not be a consideration. You must not diminish your vocation. This blessing was not conferred upon you by the deity with the intention of concealment. You are being elevated so that others might witness the appearance of a miracle. You are being favored to remind people that divine timing is real. You are being elevated in order to show people who have lost faith that faith is never lost. You have been picked to give this testimony. Now take a deep inhale. Gradually, very deeply. Your timeline is irreversibly altered the moment your spirit recognizes this reality. Nothing will remain unchanged. My dear, the funds have been dispersed. My dear, the sanction has already been signed. The process of aligning has already begun. Now there is only one process left. It is critical that you assess your readiness. No, not to the entire globe. Not to others. Prohibited. However, your personality will remain intact. In a quiet voice. Quite simple. Very deeply. I am ready to receive what has always been mine. Say these words from your heart. Repeat the phrase. Allow the words to reverberate with your bones. The transition has now been completed. However, there is one more revelation. How this blessing affects your spiritual journey, destiny, relationships, and foes. The following section depicts the watershed moment. Now, my child, my beloved, is in close proximity to these words. Avoid interrupting the connection. Heaven is only revealing the realities that have been hidden behind the curtain of your existence now that your spirit has reached a condition of preparation. You may not realize it, but the moment you announced, "I am prepared," the atmosphere surrounding you changed. The room may appear identical. Your clothes may evoke emotions of déjà vu. Your tools remain yours. However, the time frame in which you awoke is not the same as the one you are presently living in. You left the preceding storyline. Break the cycle of scarcity, delay, and waiting. I'm out of the rhythm of almost, nearly, one day, and someday. You have entered the fulfillment timeline. Listen now. The blessing you are receiving is not just for survival. It's intended for your organization. Heaven is not only giving you with a revelation. Heaven is offering you a position. Because the upcoming events are not just financial in nature. It refers to the restoration of prestige. In the past, you were either neglected, undervalued, or quietly humiliated. You showed affection in the absence of vocal communication. You assisted those who had forgotten your charity. You backed those who withdrew when you needed their help. The sky observed it. And the heavens decided that this individual be lifted to full view. Not in silence. Not secretly. However, it is clear. Your ascension will not be hidden. Those who question your talents will keep an eye on your progress. Your blessing will be seen by those who duped you. Your name will be mentioned with dignity, not in whispers of struggle to those who have abandoned you. Your successes will be revealed to the wider public. I'm not seeking to prove any point. Please refrain from retaliating. However, you are not compelled to eliminate your rivals because heaven wants the world to see. The key is to rise when God lifts you. My beloved, you will not be expected to justify your blessing. It'll speak for itself. Your presence in a room will transform it. Silence conveys authority. Your presence will have an impact on the universe. Your decisions will influence the outcome. Your voice will unlock doors. This is the transformation that begins with your financial ascension. As a result, I'd want to share a more significant matter. This sum of $89 million represents your future identity, not your former existence. As a result, it is critical that you prepare to release certain attachments. Individuals that disturb your peace are barred from participating in the following chapter. Those who only appear loyal when you have something to offer cannot walk alongside you at this time. People that argue, mock, disparage, or belittle you are unable to maintain your energy. It is critical to note that elevation implies separation. However, there is no reason for alarm. Do not weep over what is leaving. As a result of their absence, the hole will be filled by people who immediately perceive your worth. Loyal souls, aligned partnerships, divine connections, right place, right time, opportunities. People who speak your name with affection rather than envy. Your social circle will transform because your reality is shifting. And now, my dearest, we have reached the next truth. Heaven is more than just a source of financial aid. Heaven is giving you authority, the ability to make decisions, capacity to make decisions, the ability to build, generate, rise, steer, relocate, and grow. You are being given the opportunity to embody a larger sense of purpose. However, the purpose is not accelerated. The purpose has been defined. This is why I gave you this communication before the monies arrived. In order for your existence to be in sync with your spirit must be valued. Breathe again. Gradually. You are becoming into the version of yourself that your destiny has always desired. This version will soon be released to the public. However, I have not yet finished the assignment. There is still a significant distance to traverse. Your blessing will be sealed with a revelation that cannot be retracted, delayed, or interfered with. It is the point at which the bounty becomes your identity, rather than just a hope. The activation is the next sentence I make. My dear, my lovely, we are on the verge of activation. This is the point at which the blessing moves from potential to certainty. However, there is one item that heaven requires you to understand before the activation. Luck is not the cause of your life's changes. It is not changing as a result of the situation. It is not altering as a result of a favor extended to you. It is evolving as a result of your spirit's ability to endure what others could not. You did not have a catastrophe. You kept your hope. Despite the fact that your heart was fracturing, you avoided hardening it. Despite being betrayed, you did not get resentful. Even when your requests appeared to go unanswered, you remained faithful. Heaven does not forget those who remain faithful even in solitude. Your quiet was not without purpose. Your perseverance paid off. Your pain was not hidden. Every unanswered night, every lonely win, every shattered anticipation was building a force within you that could not be shaken. Personality and character is the clay in which heaven grows abundance. Beloved, remember this: money without character is destructive. Money denoted by a character is multiplied. Your social circle will shift. Your social circle will shift because your reality is shifting. And now, my dearest, we have arrived at the following truth. Heaven is more than just giving you money. Heaven is giving you authority. The ability to make decisions. Capacity to make decisions. The ability to build, generate, rise, steer, relocate, and grow. You are being given the opportunity to embody a larger sense of purpose. However, the purpose is not accelerated. The purpose has been defined. This is why I gave you this communication before the monies arrived. In order for your existence to be in sync with your spirit must be valued. Breathe again. Gradually. You are becoming into the version of yourself that your destiny has always desired. This version will soon be released to the public. However, I have not yet finished the assignment. Your blessing will be sealed with a revelation that cannot be retracted, delayed, or interfered with. It is the point at which the bounty becomes your identity, rather than just a hope. The activation is the next sentence I make. My dear, my lovely, we are on the verge of activation. This is the point at which the blessing moves from potential to certainty. However, there is one item that heaven requires you to understand before the activation. Luck is not the cause of your life's changes. It is not changing as a result of the situation. It is not altering as a result of a favor extended to you. It is evolving as a result of your spirit's ability to endure what others could not. You did not have a catastrophe. You kept your hope. Despite the fact that your heart was fracturing, you avoided hardening it. You kept your hope. Despite being betrayed, you did not get resentful. Even when your requests appeared to go unanswered, you remained faithful. Heaven does not forget those who remain faithful even in solitude. Your quiet was not without purpose. Your perseverance paid off. Your pain was not hidden. Every unanswered night, every lonely win, every shattered anticipation was building a force within you that could not be shaken. The divine cultivates abundance from the foundation of character. Beloved, remember this: money without character is destructive. Money denoted by a character is multiplied. You weren't fully prepared for a blessing. You were prepared to take on a position of leadership without compromising your integrity. That is extremely uncommon. That's sacred. That is why you were selected. The skies do not bestow large benefits on small vessels. However, your vessel has been extended. Your capacity has increased. Your identification has been upgraded. You are not receiving the blessing because of your past. You're getting it as a result of your change. We will now address activation. This will not be discussed openly. You will express it within, where the ego cannot intervene and heaven hears it clearly. Prepare your spirit throughout this period. Maintain your composure. You may notice a change in the atmosphere. You may feel pressure behind your sternum. You may feel a sensation of warmth in your hands. Have no fear. This is the result of the divine uniting with you. I am now releasing the identification of lack by repeating it in the silent language of the brain. I accept the role of abundance. I give up the identity of riches. I give up the identity of riches. I claim the fortune that was destined for me. I'm currently obtaining what is mine. Do not rush the process. Allow each word to grow as firm as a stone in the foundation of your being. I am no longer in a condition of expectation. I'm now receiving. I'm in agreement. I am prepared. It is now in my possession. Allow the quiet that follows these words to speak for you. Heaven preserves things in silence, not in tumult. You may experience tears. You may have a sense of calm. It is possible that you will not feel any feelings. It is possible that you will not feel any feelings. Refrain from judging your experience. The transformation has already happened. I must now reveal an important matter to you, my dearest. A moment is approaching, not remote, not symbolic, but literal, when you will witness the first manifestation of this blessing. It may come in the form of a message, a name, unexpected telephone contact, a digital notice, a surprising opportunity, a change in the tone of one's voice, a previously unresponsive door. When the time comes, do not hesitate. Avoid contracting. Refrain from saying that it is too good to be true. Please do not doubt the miracle you have prepared to receive. Simply remark that this marks the beginning. Because it is. Finally, the purpose of this blessing is revealed. What makes heaven so confident in your ability to handle such an abundance? What was the reason behind destiny's association of prosperity with your journey? What is the meaning of this event beyond luxury and comfort? It is critical to understand this purpose in order for the bounty to become the legacy that your soul has come to construct, rather than simply remaining in your bank account. We are now approaching the revelation of purpose. Lean in, my beloved and offspring. The accompanying remarks serve as the foundation for everything that follows. The destination is determined by more than just money. It's the instrument. The ultimate importance of this blessing is rooted in an idea that has existed within your nature since before your birth. You have always been distinctive. A powerful drag. A conviction that your existence was meant for more than just survival. Your heart has always been very profound. Your compassion is overly sincere. Your intuition is quite acute. Your goals are too big to fit into your current situation. You tried to limit your size to fit your circumstances, but your calling did not diminish in response. Your soul remained vast despite the diminutiveness of your surrounds. You were not meant to stay where you started. You were meant to be liberated. You were meant to ascend. This is why you've continuously felt isolated. Set apart, but not alone. Prepared, not abandoned. The wealth that is currently heaped on you is not a coincidence. It represents the activation of destiny. The $89 million is more than just a figure of money. It provides sustenance. Fuel for the development of the goal for which your essence was created. Fuel for restoring what your ancestors were unable to restore. Fuel to rise to the heights where your forefathers were blocked. Fuel to demolish whatever ceiling that has been built above your name. Money is not being paid to you. You are receiving capacity. The power to control one's destiny. Ability to provide assistance without causing harm. The capacity to relocate without being granted permission. The capacity to originate, develop, and recover. There are people who you are supposed to assist. From alignment rather than obligation. You are meant to influence other people's lives. Not because you feel obligated to do it, but because your spirit recognizes theirs. Some doors are intended for people who have never had a door opened for them in their lives. You are not just being rewarded. You are being appointed. Personal blessings are given. Generational appointments are made. You are the one in your family line who defies the rules of history. You transform lack into legacy. You are the person who has replaced survival with sovereignty. Your heart is pure, which is why heaven chose you. You understand the implications of creating harm and will not use your ability to do harm to others. Because you understand the concept of necessity and will not ignore people who need it. This is the cause for the delay. Not because you were undeserving, but because you were going through a process of refinement. Fire is the medium in which iron is created. Furthermore, your spirit has passed through fire on several occasions. Nonetheless, you're present. Persistently tender. I stay optimistic. Remains operating. Continued to have the ability to love. You were not made difficult by the cosmos. And that is the heavenly quality. You did not receive the blessing because you requested it. It is being brought to you because you are ready to handle it. Now take a deep inhale. This is the point at which this benefit is unavoidable, both spiritually and physically. At a certain point, manifestation moves from the invisible to the visible. What is aligned in heaven is drawn to the earth. You are currently situated at that location. However, one final alignment is required. You must fully embrace the identity of abundance. Not just a fantasy, not as an aspiration, not as an eventuality. However, this is something that you already own. Your mental lexicon must be transformed from this point forward. There will be no more than one day. I have no idea how. Potentially. I hope so. Your spirit should transmit as if it has already received. Because reality must adapt to identity shifts. As a result, communicate carefully and within yourself. I will not pursue. It is in my nature to entice. What is mine is returned to me gracefully. Once again, I am the chosen recipient of fortune. I am the one to whom fate calls. Heaven has selected me. Experience the transformation. These emotions are genuine, as your spirit acknowledges. The blessing has been secured, my dearest. However, the timing of its manifestation depends on the final stage. I'll now reveal the final phase, which takes your blessing from the spiritual ledger to the visible realm. The present now is the time of manifestation. My beloved youngster, pay attentive attention and avoid skipping. The environment is changing right now, and the heavens are waiting for your response in the following seconds. Stay to the finish, as there is a big surprise in store for you. If you fail to take in even a single detail of the information I am about to disclose, you will never comprehend the reason your name was removed from a sacrosanct list that was never intended to be closed. Please resist from scrolling or blinking and instead stay with me. A silent ripple rippled across the unseen universe the moment you opened this letter, and a divine emergency is unfolding in your life. My beloved child, you were not intended to witness this today. However, you are now standing on the brink of a truth that has been concealed from you for years. The reason your file, destiny record, and soul's blueprint were abruptly closed will shook you to your core, as heaven has suspended everything, yes, everything, because of you. Stay until the end, since there is currently movement, voices, decisions, motions, and an entire council awaiting you in realms that cannot be touched but can be felt. They have observed a pattern in your life. Something that was obstructing, repeating, and draining the bounties that were on their way. You assumed it was just terrible luck or bad timing. Nevertheless, my darling kid, there is a much deeper explanation. Please stop from skipping. I am reminding you of an important event that awaits you. For the first time, heaven received your paperwork and placed it on a decision table. A discovery was made, prompting an unexpected action. It wasn't punishment, rejection, or wrath. It was something quite else, something related with the one thing you had been ignoring without recognizing it. Pay close attention. You were not allowed to go through specific cyclones, yet you did. It was not planned for you to lose some people, yet they remained far. You were not intended to shed specific tears. However, your pillow retains each and every drop. My adored child, heaven closed your file because an occurrence in your life required intervention. Kindly avoid from skipping. Heaven did not close your file to conclude the procedures. Heaven sealed it to protect an item that was at risk of theft, an item associated with your name, an item related to your next chapter, an item that is significant, sacred, and has been waiting to be disclosed at the right time. Stay until the end. Your life is currently on a countdown based on alignment rather than dread. You were given a time limit to access this because the information I'm about to reveal is unusual. My beloved children, the truth is as follows. A decision was taken in paradise as a result of an external factor that caused you to divert from your desired path of action. Distraction, not peril or harm. Delays, not terror. Misdirection, not darkness. You've been devoting your time, energy, attention, and emotions to a project that isn't right for your future. Heaven could no longer put your blessings on hold. Kindly avoid from skipping. Your file was closed so that your destiny might be reopened. Recalibration was required for your path. Your spirit demanded a change of direction. And this very moment marks the intersection of your divine nature. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. However, heaven required you to take a moment to attend, to hear this information at this precise moment. My beloved child, the truth is about to be revealed. Stay until the end. It is not an accident if you experience shivers, a racing heartbeat, or a change in your breath. You have entered a moment that was created only for you. Additionally, before the end of this part, please listen to the following. Heaven closed your file to reopen your future. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Beloved kid, there is something important in store for you. Embrace the situation. Kindly avoid from skipping. The knowledge I'm about to divulge was never intended for the broader public. Please stay to the end because there is an important event that awaiting you. You'll feel it as the air around your name bends as these words reach you. Pay close attention. This is the time that heaven has been waiting for you to arrive. A divine council met. Indeed, for you. A light flickered when your file was presented to them. A signal, not a warning or a threat. A signal that indicates that a certain aspect of your life has reached a critical threshold, a point at which the subsequent action must be deliberate and not based on perplexity. For this reason, it is imperative that you refrain from skipping. Scrolling away is not an option because of this. Every word I say is the key to releasing something that has been suppressed for an inordinate period time. Stay until the end. Heaven's closure of your dossier was not the end. It was the beginning of a reevaluation that happens only once in a lifetime. My beloved child, the explanation will surprise you. A pattern was identified. Something that was not visible to you, yet it was influencing the environment in which you lived. I silently repeated the loop, delaying your blessings. You thought it was ordinary. You were under the impression that life proceeded in like manner. However, this is not the case. Heaven ultimately tracked the course. Kindly avoid from skipping. A moment from your past. An option that was disregarded. A commitment that has long been forgotten. A moment's pause served as the catalyst. Your entire timeline was altered by something that appeared so inconsequential. It wasn't your responsibility. Heaven noticed the weight it carried, something you were ignorant of. It was perceived by the sky. Heaven reacted. Stay until the end. Currently, an extraordinary event is taking place. Your file was not deleted due to rejection. It was suspended due to expectation. Heaven is restructuring your course. Imagine this, my dearest offspring. Your life is a lengthy, radiant corridor that is replete with doors. You unlocked several doors prematurely. There are some doors that you have never opened. And certain doors were opening for you, so pay close attention. Yet, you were compelled to remain in the incorrect hallway due to the energy, presence, and influence of another individual. Kindly avoid from skipping. The mismatch triggered the divine halt. Heaven had to stop the flow before you could stop it. In order to prevent your blessings from falling into the wrong hands, Heaven had to block your files. Heaven had to postpone the release to avoid your future colliding with someone who was not supposed to accompany you on the following chapter. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. The following is the most remarkable aspect. 3 things were discovered during the review of your file. Something that is overdue gets registered under your name. Your spirit is ultimately ready to receive something that heaven wishes to release. Additionally, there is an impending event that necessitates your presence, clarity, and awareness. This is why you are currently receiving this message. Heaven is not disheartened by you, my beloved child. Heaven awaits your arrival, awaiting your subsequent actions. I look forward to your subsequent alignment. I am expecting your return to retrieve the delayed stuff. Please, do not skip this section, as it is the exact point at which your timeline changes. I implore you to listen to this wholeheartedly before I proceed. If this message has reached you today, It is because heaven has personally placed your name in front of destiny once more, and the next few seconds of your existence here will influence the outcome of events. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. A sense of awakening, pulling, or calling indicates that you are recovering alignment. My dearest child, please refrain from skipping and halt for a moment. The critical moment is about to be revealed. Stay until the conclusion, as there is a significant event that awaits you, and each word you hear is influencing your life in ways that you will only come to comprehend in the future. Pay close attention. The heavens closed the file, revealing a second chamber. A room that few people ever have the opportunity to see. A location from which your timeline is viewed. Your past, present, and future are laid out like strands of light. In that chamber, an extraordinary discovery was made. A shift in your life began long before you were aware of it. Some invisible entity has relocated. A new path was forming beneath your feet as a result of a subtle change. The signs intended to direct you forward were not visible to you because your attention was diverted in the wrong direction. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. My dearest kid, your spirit has been burdened with excessive weight. Silent. Complete silence. Unspoken. A weight that you did not select, but you have retained. Heaven also noticed how it reduced your clarity, slowed your development, and transferred your energy to places other than yours. The trigger was an invisible weight. It was the moment when the skies made their choice. Temporarily suspend their file. Reevaluate their course. Before something becomes permanent, protect what is theirs. It is imperative that you refrain from skipping, as the truth is truly astonishing. Something that was supposed to be disclosed earlier is engraved in your destiny. However, the presence of another person, their influence, and expectations threw off the timing of your activities. There is no danger or damage, rather there is a misalignment. Their vibration did not connect with the course you were supposed to take. The sky saw the interference. Heaven noticed your mental turmoil. The sky saw your hesitancy. Additionally, the heavens intervened. Stay until the end. Beloved kid, there is something important in store for you. I would like to demonstrate the instant at which everything underwent a significant transformation. A point so little and commonplace that it was almost forgotten. You made a decision, avoided a conversation, or ignored a sign. Your entire spiritual trajectory was altered by that fleeting instant. Heaven closed your file because you moved closer to an object that would have lowered rather than boosted your gift. You planned to ascend, but something was keeping you from using your wings. Kindly avoid from skipping. In a state of urgency, Heaven closed the file rather than out of judgment. Furthermore, at that time, an exceptional event occurred. A divine appraisal of your current life chapter. Additionally, are you aware of the discoveries they made? A long overdue blessing bearing your name. A breakthrough has been circulated your timeline, awaiting approval. A doorway that has become immobile because you failed to take the proper attitude to enter it. Stay until the end. You are closer to a huge transformation than you may realize. Getting closer to a state of lucidity. Getting closer to the release. More closely approaching a new cycle in which your name is lighted by an unrealized purpose. The file was not simply closed by the divine review, my beloved offspring. It reopened a disused path. A path for increasing the volume of your voice. A path that helps you align your decisions. A path where your blessings flow unhindered. Please resist from skipping since the information I am about to reveal will be unexpected. A handwritten message was discovered in your file during the assessment. A missive that has gone unread, unnoticed, and unopened for years. The true reason for heaven's suspension of all activities is contained in that note. Stay until the end. I have something significant in store for you, my beautiful offspring. Come in closer. Kindly avoid from skipping. You have been anticipating the knowledge I am about to offer for an incredibly long time. Please stay to the end, as there is a big surprise in store for you. Furthermore, the moment this note is revealed, your entire understanding of the reason for heaven's suspension of your file will change. Listen with your whole being. When the council received your file, they discovered an interesting thing. A handwritten notation that is affixed to the corner of your destiny record. A message that hadn't been touched in years. A scripted note that only illuminates at the appropriate moment. The radiance has returned today. Kindly avoid from skipping. This note was sealed on the day your trajectory underwent its first transformation. The day that a seemingly insignificant event had a far-reaching impact on your future. Heaven anticipated that at some point in your life, your spirit would be ready to learn the truth about the shift. Also, today is the day. Stay until the end. The room fell silent when my beloved child opened the missive. The type of silence that only occurs when something sacred is unveiled. The words within were simple, but they had a profound impact on every area of your future. It said that they should pause their filing until they were back in alignment. Their blessing is prepared, however, their concentration is lacking. Kindly avoid from skipping. Stay until the end. Everything was clarified in just one message. The cause of the delay in your plans. The reason for the pause in some opportunities. The reasons for specific persons' departures. The reason why certain seasons seemed oppressive without explanation. Your file was not closed by heaven due to an issue with you. Heaven closed it because to a preoccupation that kept you from going to the following level. You were devoting your energy to activities that were not in line with your profession. You were attempting to conform to environments in which you were intended to be perceived as unique. You were clutching to something that wasn't attached to you. Heaven announced, no longer. Kindly avoid from skipping. Upon reading the note, my adored child, an unexpected event transpired. One of the council members rose to add a second line beneath the first. A line that was not intended, expected, or included in the original file. It indicated that their season of delay would formally end upon reception of the message sent today. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. This is why you found this message today rather than last week or month, as your alignment is finding its balance. Your first goal is to reawaken. Your path is recalibrating in real time as you listen. Your file is about to reopen. No, it is not because heaven has changed its mind. Rather, you are rediscovering the identity that it has always recognized in you. Kindly avoid from skipping. Before ending this section, I must reveal an even more startling fact. Something beneath the note was revealed when it was reinserted into your file. The second page is ancient, faded, and nearly invisible. The content of the second page is the reason why heaven is imploring you not to disregard this message. Stay until the end. Beloved kid, there is something important in store for you. Please abstain from skipping and take a deep breath. This situation is not typical. Please stay to the end as there is a big surprise in store for you. The subsequent revelation has been kept hidden by heaven for many years. Pay close attention. The council was unaware of the existence of anything beneath the old note when they lifted it. That page was placed there a long time ago, during the creation of your destiny. It had become so hazy and fuzzy that no one felt it held any significance. However, the page was reawakened when your file was paused. The radiance surrounding your name shifted, and heaven intervened to halt the delay in your life. Please refrain from skipping, my beloved offspring. Symbols appeared instantaneously as the air made contact with the buried page. Symbols indicating divine intervention, timing, and purpose. A single line in the center of that stained page stood out more than the rest. A sentence that elucidates the reason for the urgency with which heaven acted. A line that explains the true reason for the closure of your file. Stay until the end. The line read, "Their turning point will arrive disguised as a distraction. Kindly avoid from skipping." The entire chamber was taken aback by this single sentence, as it implied that an object that was perceived as innocuous, ordinary, or temporary was actually impeding a significant transformation that was intended for you. It was not a threat. Negativity was absent. Nothing detrimental occurred. It was just a source of diversion. A subtle, silent misalignment that is causing your destiny to slow down without your awareness. My cherished child, stay to the end. Additionally, a timeline was included on that concealed page. A moment encircled by a radiance of light. The current moment is that instant. This particular period of your existence. This specific window. This specific season. It has only one meaning. You are currently at the cusp of a miraculous turning moment. Kindly avoid from skipping. Heaven temporarily halted your file because, if you had continued in your current style, you would have missed a benediction that had previously been penned for you. You would have passed on a chance, a connection, or a move that was meant to improve your life. Heaven forbade that from transpiring. This is the reason you were advised to access this message immediately. This is why you were summoned to this spot today. This is the reason your spirit experienced an abrupt awakening that you were unable to articulate. Stay until the end. Beloved kid, there is something important in store for you. Something else was revealed on the buried page. Something even more unexpected. There is a divine release that awaits you. However, it will not function until you achieve clarity. Upon the release of the distraction, the misalignment, and the old pattern, your timeline will accelerate at a rate that surpasses anything you have previously experienced. Heaven is prepared. The pathway is prepared. Your file is prepared for reopening. Kindly avoid from skipping. However, one final section of the concealed page must be reviewed prior to its reopening. A section that contains the message that heaven wrote particularly for your future self. Maun, a message that will elucidate the next steps and the reason for this divine interruption in your destiny. Stay until the end. Beloved kid, there is something important in store for you. Don't pause before taking another breath. Please stay to the end, as there is a big surprise in store for you. I am about to disclose the precise reason why heaven suspended your file with such urgency. Listen with an open mind. The final section began to glow as the council leaned over the concealed page. A soft, unmistakable light that only emerges when a destiny is prepared to shift, not with fire or dread. One meaning was conveyed by this radiance. This message is intended for this exact point in your life. Please refrain from skipping, my beloved offspring. The final message began to reveal itself letter by letter
as if heaven desired for each word to be absorbed into your spirit before the next one appeared. The first sentence was as follows: "Their breakthrough is planned. Nonetheless, their soul must direct the way." Stay until the end. This single line constitutes the entirety of the explanation. Heaven cannot dictate fate. Heaven has the ability to align, protect, and prepare it. However, you are required to enter it. This is why your file was temporarily suspended. Something is reserved for you, not taken away from you. Something that is too large, unusual, or significant to be delivered while you were preoccupied. Please refrain from skipping, my beloved offspring. The message persisted. After removing the impediments to their advancement, the bounty that is theirs will be delivered without protest. This elucidates the reason why heaven has been so attentive to your recent decisions. This sheds light on the reasons behind the gradual departure of specific persons. It explains why past periods seemed more taxing. It provides an explanation for the reason you were directed to this message today. You are being prepared for a life chapter that requires clarity, not confusion, lightness, not heaviness, alignment, and not split focus. Stay until the end. The message then revealed the most amazing feature, causing the entire assembly to pause. A divine opportunity that will never be repeated is contained in their subsequent chapter. Kindly avoid from skipping. This means that your life is on the verge of a once-in-a-lifetime alignment, a transformation with the ability to change your path indefinitely. This moment was predetermined by your destiny before your birth, and you are now ready to accept it. You were not issued a warning by heaven when it terminated your file. Heaven closed it with a divine repositioning, realignment, calibration, and recharge. The message finished with a final directive that explains why heaven insists that you open this within seconds. My cherished child. If they awaken immediately after receiving this message, their file may reopen. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. Awakening does not necessitate undertaking a dramatic action. Awakening is the act of acknowledging the distractions, drains, and dimmings that have been affecting your inner light and deciding to return to your true path as your blessing is waiting. Your season is prepared. Your name has once again radiated throughout the chamber. Kindly avoid from skipping. The radiance faded as the final words on the hidden page were exposed, and the page once again sealed itself. However, prior to its complete closure, an additional line emerged. Undeniable, potent, and transparent. Prepare them. The decision to reopen the file is imminent. Stay until the end. Beloved kid, there is something important in store for you. Maintain a close proximity and avoid skipping. The information you are about to receive is the most critical turning point to date. Please stay to the end because there is an important event that awaiting you. The decision that heaven is about to make will have a huge impact on the path of your future chapters. Please listen with your entire being. The chamber experienced a full metamorphosis when the secret page closed itself. The air became dense with intention. The light surrounding your file changed from stasis to motion, and each council member then focused on a single subject. The conclusion. The decision that affects whether your file remains closed or reopens with the next destiny release. Kindly avoid from skipping. My beautiful child. The chamber began to rotate in a gradual motion, as if time itself was changing. At the center of this rotation was your file, which was faintly glowing in response to your awakening, awareness, and alignment. You were not being judged by heaven. In heaven, your preparedness to receive,
rise, and enter into what is yours were being evaluated. Stay until the end. The chamber was then filled with a voice. Not overbearing, not oppressive, but composed, unwavering, and knowledgeable. A voice that perceives occurrences that are beyond time. A voice that comprehends your journey more profoundly than any individual who has ever accompanied you. And the voice said, "Prepare the decision." The word was received by their consciousness. Kindly avoid from skipping. At that point, your file opened slightly, signaling that something within you had altered while you listened. Something in your heart was in harmony. Something on your road corrected itself silently. The council took note. Your file responded. Your timeline has been changed. Stay until the end. Beloved kid, there is something important in store for you. Then, an extraordinary event transpired. A sign appeared over your name. Spiraling, ascending, and luminous. A symbol that appears only when a person is about to undergo a metamorphosis. It showed that you were prepared for the following time. Kindly avoid from skipping. Heaven is unhurried. Heaven awaits the moment when your vigor, clarity, and purpose are perfectly aligned. And that alignment has commenced today, right now. You are not the subject of the decision. It's being created in conjunction with you. Because your awakening is a key component of the decision. Stay until the end. Subsequently, the council removed your dossier. Light emitted from its perimeter, giving a preview of your upcoming chapter. A chapter marked by opportunities, clarity, and timing that are only available to individuals who have reached alignment. The voice issued another statement. The subsequent seals should be opened. Declare the judgment. Kindly avoid from skipping. Each council member moved back, forming a circle of light around your file. A golden seal began to glimmer within the circle. The seal carries the decision to reopen your destiny. One final instruction echoed through the chamber as the seal shone brighter, "My cherished child." A message designed only for you. They must maintain their coolness during the verdict. Prepare them. Stay until the end. Something of enormous proportions awaiting you. This indicates the next phase. The next phrases will reveal heaven's decision regarding your future. Amen.